What's going on, fish nerds? Carlos here. Welcome back again. If you were here last week, you know that my plans are to scape this 20-gallon, and I told you that I was going to be doing a couple breeding projects in this tank while moving my guppies up here into the 30-gallon, but I have altered my plans a little bit. I am going to scape this today, so that is this video, but I'm not going to be setting it up for a breeding project. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up and scape it for the guppies up here and move them all the way down here and have the guppy colony and the 20 tall, and I'm going to use the 30-gallon for my breeding project. So I'm going to kind of tear down the scape that's there and redo it. I may not tear it down entirely, or I might. I don't know what I'm going to do exactly, but I do have some specific plans of what I want to do for the breeding setup, so I'm going to alter this later. But today we are going to scape the 20 tall, and oh my word, guys, look at this snail feeding frenzy. That's ridiculous. It's a snail madhouse out here. Look at these. Look at all these Malaysian trumpet snails in this tank. Holy cannoli. On the other hand, though, look at all these gorgeous cherry shrimp. Love it. All right, got to get all the... I'm going to replace the gravel that's in here with black sand. So that's where we're going to start off, is getting this thing emptied out so we can start fresh. Okay, so I got everything out of this tank, and when I first started scooping all the gravel out, there was apparently so much detritus in the gravel that the whole water column just became a brown muddy mess, and I couldn't see anything. So I ended up having to drain all the water out before I could scoop everything out. And then once I actually got to that point, I had a realization that actually saved me a whole bunch of time and work. And pro tip for you guys: these things, wet dry vacs, are excellent for sucking gravel out of tanks. Okay, now it's time to scape this thing. Well, actually, no, I gotta add the sand first. Then we'll scape this thing. Okay, so actually, before I put in the sand, I did go ahead and put in the driftwood that I bought last week, because I want to actually cover the base up with the sand. So I went ahead and put that in first, and I threw the sponge filter back in there. So now I'm going to add the sand, and this is just the sand that was in my 55-gallon tank that's in the living room. When I bought it on Craigslist, this was in the tank, and so I've just had it sitting in a bucket ever since I bought that tank. So now I'm going to try it out in here. Alright, so I got all the sand in there that I want to use. Got it all in here, and now I've got all these river rocks that I collected a couple months ago, I guess, in Arkansas when we were out visiting my in-laws. This one's pretty cool. But a lot of these are kind of two-tone colored, and I plan on starting off with some of the bigger pieces like this, is kind of setting the base for the hardscape, and then using a lot of the smaller pieces around the edges and in the front to kind of bring it all together. So I'm just going to play around with it and see how it turns out. Alright, and here's what I've got so far. Just took some bigger rocks to put around the back there, and some of these will actually look a lot cooler when they're wet, like especially this one back here in the back. There's some purple in that one that'll pop out when it gets good and wet. I really like this rock here up in the front. It's got all the little holes, a little dragonstone-ish in a way. So I'm liking that. I need to fill that gap with something in between that rock and the glass. But just kind of starting in the corner and working my way out, and then I'm gonna work my way across the back. I think I'm going to actually try to build around the sponge filter and hide it too. So, just keep going. Okay, a little more progress. I picked this one up and put another big rock back behind there so I could actually set it up on top to bring it up a little bit and build all out through the back there on around. And this rock here I actually just kind of got jutting out to give it a little bit of disuniformity, if that's the word, which I'm sure it's not. But also I was kind of going for, both sides of this rock are really unique. They're very different from each other, but both really cool looking. So I was actually just trying to get to where I could see both sides. You still can't really see that side, but it's alright. It turned out pretty cool. And brought these all the way out to the front with the small rocks. I'm just going to kind of leave this center part open and probably this one little corner here. But coming along pretty good, I think. A lot of rock in this hardscape, which is fine because this is not going to be near enough to do much with plants, and all the rocks will give Fry a good place to hide and things like that. So I'm liking it so far, and now I'm just working on trying to build up around the sponge filter. If I can get the sponge filter completely hidden, that'll be ideal. So check in just a second. Alright guys, I am digging it. There's a little glare right here that makes it a little hard to tell, but went ahead and took it all the way the rest of the way around. Got some bigger rocks laid up against the sponge filter and then just piled a bunch on top of it. I took the the lift tube off the sponge filter as well to hide it, so you just got the air line going down in there, and obviously there'll be bubbles coming up from there once I get this filled up with water. And I am gonna wait a bit before I add the fish to this tank. I have a feeling it's gonna be pretty murky anyway for a little while until the water change gets it all cleared out. And I'm gonna watch parameters, make sure the sponge filter's still working plenty well enough, even with all the rock around it and everything like that, which it should, but just in case. And I think it's looking pretty sweet. Here's your above view. So now I'm just gonna fill it up with water and give you guys a final view. Alright, and final product. What do you guys think? I'm pretty stoked with this. I think it turned out awesome. I'm really digging it. And I was right, it is pretty murky, but not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. But here's the thing, guys. This, I don't know what I want to do with this now. Since it turned out like this, I really like the way it looks, but I'm not sure that I want to use it for the guppy colony now. I don't know what I want to do. Let me know what you guys think I should do with this tank, because I'm not sure, but I love it though. I love the way it's turned out. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I may go ahead and do the guppies up here, or I may go full Bob Steenfot and just put all the guppies, cherry shrimp, and bristlenose plecos in this 40 breeder and do a breeding for profit tank exclusively there and just do display projects over here. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Let me know what you think I should do, because I am totally undecided, but I am very stoked about how this has turned out. I like the mountain of rocks over here covering the sponge filter. I like the way that turned out and how that looks, and just the rock pile. I just think it turned out really cool, and I love these rocks. I love these rocks, and I love how there's so much variety in all these rocks. And I collected these all in the same area, but you just got that much variety. It's crazy. But altogether, this scape cost me $19.99 for the spider wood, and the rocks I collected for free locally, not local to me, but local to my in-laws. And the sand was left over from when I bought my other tank on Craigslist. So $19.99 for this entire scape. So you can't beat that, but I am just loving this. I love it, I love it, I love it. But I don't know if this looks like a guppy tank to me. Looks awesome, but I don't know if it looks like a guppy tank to me. But let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna mull it over. I'm gonna be out of town for a week, so I've got time to think about it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And yeah. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I am wore out. It is very late. Like I said, I'm getting ready to go out of town, so I still have to get ready to leave. We're leaving in the morning, and it's pretty late at this point. I still got to edit this, so it's gonna be a late night. But thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are awesome. God bless you, fish nerds. I will see you next time.